Hi guys, Bert or C4FX here, and I'd just like to say before I play the tutorial that it'd be awesome if you could just leave a like right now before you watch it. It definitely gets me motivated to make more tutorials, so it'd be awesome if you could do that. And please bear in mind that this is my first tutorial, so sorry if I don't explain everything that well. I tried my best and hopefully you understand everything and you're able to make a sick intro at the end. So if you did make an intro and you uploaded it to YouTube, it'd be cool if you could put it as a video response. I'd love to see them and check them out. So yeah, hope enjoy this tutorial guys, and I'll see you later. Hi guys, Bert or C4FX here, and this is part 2 of my intro tutorial. In part 1 we done all the animation in Cinema 4D and I showed you the render settings. So I have rendered the intro and I'm just going to open it up in After Effects. So I'm going to go import, file, find where you saved your render, intros. So you should have made a folder wherever you saved it. I told you to make a folder, and inside this folder will have all the images of all the frames of the intro. So we've done 250 frames and there's 250 images. So to import these, you just click on the 0000, make sure TIFF sequence is selected, and you just click open. This, make sure straight unmatted is selected, black background, and leave the rest as it is. Press OK, and here you are, you have this. So we want to go just into the timeline here and just drag that in, and here you have the intro we just made. No colours, no background, well obviously colours but no colour correction, which is what we're going to add now. So there we go, let's make sure it's all good. Nice camera movements, nice movement on the lava. It's all good, I'm happy with that. So what we're going to do first is find a good spot to add just a good spot to test your colour correction. So around there. So we're just going to right click down here, new adjustment layer, and in effects and presets you need Magic Bullet Looks for this. Magic Bullet Looks is just a plug-in, it's easy to get. Like on Cinema 4D with Frowsy, just if you don't have it, just type in YouTube and there should be a few tutorials on teaching you how to get it, or you can buy it from the website. So Magic Bullet Looks, type that in. If I just type Bullet Looks, I think. If I just go down, there's Magic Bullet Looks here. Drag the looks onto the adjustment layer, and here you go. So you just want to click and edit. Wait for it to load up. So if you want, you can just there's so many presets already. You can go through all of them, search one for what you want, whatever you want to search for them. I think I'm just going to teach you guys how to do it from scratch. So if you go over here to tools, this is what I usually add. I don't do too much to it. So I would always add a light flex. We don't want brown, we want a kind of red, subtle red colour. We're going to bring that down. To about there, I think that's good. Whatever you like, you can do. I think that's pretty nice. Okay. I'll go to looks again. I add an edge softness for still intros like this, and just want it about there, so it gives a nice blur here, which is nice. And when the logo comes in, it blurs until it enters into the middle of the screen, which is nice. and then you want to add, where is it? Shutter streak, and this gives it a nice effect, which I'll show you here. It gives it these, but obviously we want to turn them down. So just turn the boost down a little bit, about there. Looks nice. This is subtle, and we want I don't know how to say the word. Anamorphic flare. Drag that in, and I'm going to put it to red, so it picks up the red colours. Turn it down also. Don't want too much. That's pretty nice. That's good. I like that. And diffusion. The diffusion just brings out a colour. So if I go in red, it'll bring out the red colour more. It can bring the quality down a little bit if you bring it into like iMovie or Sony Vegas or whatever. For me it does anyway. So I don't normally put it on, but for tutorial purposes I'm going to leave it there, I think. Just play around with it a bit. Can bring the glow up if you like, so you can see it coming through there. I think it looks very nice. I don't add much after that. You can play around with these, and like I said, there's so many different ones already there that you can choose, which all look very nice. So you just choose whatever you want. I'm going to leave it at this. I think I like it. I like the colour. See, add an exposure. Wow. That's nice. If you add a minus 0.10 of the exposure, looks really good. So I'm just going to click finished here because I'm happy with what I've got. So finished. And you may see it looks really weird around. That's because we had alpha channel ticked on Cinema 4D. So all I do is just grab the rectangle here, make sure the fill is black, and just cover this. Cover the whole screen, and then you want to drag it to the background. There we go. So I'm just going to rename this background. And I'm going to name the adjustment layer color correction. Some people have 2 color corrections or 3 color corrections. I've never done that. I've always just had one, and I'm happy with that. So now we're going to add some cinematic bars, and I now only use cinematic bars when I have light flex, which gives it this kind of light around. Otherwise you don't really see them. It's just black, plain black, which isn't nice. So the way I do it, really simple. Just grab this rectangle tool, make sure the fill is black, drag it out like that, make it any size you want, and drag one at the bottom. And what you do to make them the same, just go into the select tool and just on your keyboard on the arrows, just go down or up, whichever way you need to go, and it moves it pixel by pixel. So like that is good. And I'm going to rename this shape layer cinematic bars. So here we go, the basic animation with the color correction. Here you see the blur, which is nice. Comes in, text appears, and it all looks good. So to move quicker through the timeline now, as we have quite a few things going on here, where it says full, you just want to take that down to half, third, quarter, whichever one you want. It just lowers the quality basically, and it runs quicker. I normally have it on half, but if your computer's not as good, you can put it on quarter. If it's really good, you can leave it on full, but I think half's good for me. So now I think we're going to add the flares. I think we're going to have a glow up the top, which is always nice. So right click down here, new solid, name this glow flare. Keep it at the same width and height as the screen, which should be as default. Pixels, square pixels, make comp size to make sure that's the same size, and color background black. Press OK. Now with this selected, you want to right click on it, blending mode, and you want to make it add, like so. And now another plugin you need is, I forgot what it's called, Video Copilot, and within that you have optical flares, Twitch and others. I just have Twitch and optical flares. So we're going to be using optical flares to drag that onto it. It will load up, and here it gives you just a basic flare, but we don't want that, we want to change it a bit. So in here you just want to go options, and this will open optical flares. So I usually use presets, but I edit them. But for this, for glows, I normally make my own. So you've got loads of different presets here that they give you, but I'm just going to make my own. So I'm going to go to this little arrow to clear all of these, and I'm going to go into lens objects and just choose my own stuff. So obviously we need a glow, we're going to need a streak, and what else could look good? You can take your time with these. I always take my time with flares. I normally work at least 20 minutes on the flares, but because we're in a tutorial, I'm not going to do as much time. So that looks good. Nothing else I don't think I can add. Could try some of this maybe. And we want to change the global colour. Obviously if you've got blue intro you can go blue, but my one's kind of red orange. So I'm going just to change it a little bit. Maybe about there. And I'm going to delete this multi-iris. So there it is in red. I'm going to, normally you can move this glow, I want it underneath the streak. So you should be able to move that. You might not be able to. No. It will work. It's going to work. So I'm going to bring the glow down, because I don't want that much glow. So it's in brightness, take that down to 100, and I'm going to click OK. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the glow flare under the cinematic bars and the colour correction. There you go. And I'm going to change the position. Easiest way is clicking this and just putting it where you want. So see up the top, I want it as it's a glow. There we go, it looks really nice. I think I'll bring the scale down to 80, oh not 8, 80. And the brightness down to 80 also. And I'm just going to lower it out there. There we are. Now on that flare I'm going to add a flicker, which gives it just animates it, I suppose. Goes brighter, they're not as bright, and it gives a nice animation. So I've never been too sure about what speed and that to put, but what I do, I just double it every time. So well, basically I say I wanted the speed at 5, I'd make the amount 10 and the random seed 20. And it always seems to work for me. So, and this is a glow, so I don't want it to be too mad. I just want it to be quite slow and just a nice flare. So there you go. There's the glow to it. I'm going to change this down to quarter so it goes a bit quicker. So logo comes in. Text comes there. I'm not going to add a flare to the text, you can if you like. And then once the text has appeared, which is about there, I'm going to have 1 second so you can see the text, and then I'm going to blur it out and his link appears. So what I'm going to do is add to this, to the actual intro. I'm going to go into Effect, Blur, which is somewhere, Blur and Sharpen, and you're going to look for Gaussian blur. There it is. Click that. The blurriness is set as 0, so there you want to keyframe it at, I have it at 615, keyframe it there and drag it to the end and make the blur about 5. Just put it in full so we can actually see the real. Yeah, I'm going to put a bit more than 5, 10 maybe. Okay, that's good. So go back to 615 and we're going to add our text and we're going to animate it. So the text, you just get the basic text tool up here, and font I'm going to have the same as 3D text, so typograph, which will be in T down the bottom there. I'm going to have semi-bold and probably 30 pixels in size, and I'm going to change the colour to a red. So you just click wherever you want to put text, and I'm going to go www.youtube.com/dread for the win, which is his YouTube. So obviously you put whatever you want there. I'm actually going to change the colour. I don't think that works. For tutorial purposes, I'm just going to keep it white for now. You can take your time on the colours, and I'm going to drag it under the colour correction and cinematic bars. There we are. So now we're going to centre it. I've always found it hard to get it perfectly in the centre, but recently I found a way. If you go into View, you go Show Rulers, and you want to drag a ruler into the middle. So the middle of 1920 is around here. I'm really bad at maths and I can't bother to work it out, so 1920, just get the middle of that, and the middle of here, what's this, 1080, which is 540, which is there. There we are. So select the text again, drop it down here, transform and position. You want to go down to about there, I would say, and you want to go across to about there. I'm going to bring the text up a bit so it's in the middle of the 3D. Just go down a bit more. It's pretty good like that. Okay. So that's that. Now we're going to animate it. So you want to here animate, and you want to select opacity. You're not going to keyframe the opacity, but you're going to put it down to 0, and then you're going to drop down range selector, keyframe the offset at 615, and I'm going to take it about, say, around 1 second to come through. I'm going to put that up to 100. Now then we're going to go into drop down the advanced option here, and in not opacity, randomize order, there we go, that's going to be off. You want to click that on, and you just go in here and basically it just appears one by one, which looks really nice. Randomize seed, we can put whatever you want, maybe 20. Yeah, 20 looks good. And there you go. Really simple to animate the text, and it's really effective. So to change the colours and add a gradient and stuff like that, I'm not going to do it now, but what you do is you just right click, layer styles, and you add whatever you want. Maybe I could add a gradient overlay, drop down the gradient overlay, and it's a bit like Photoshop really. So edit gradient, I'm not going to have black and white, I'm just going to have the top pure red and the bottom going to be a dark red. See what that looks like. Yeah, well, it takes time to get right. I'm not too good with this, but you do it whatever you want, whatever feels, whatever looks best to your eyes. And what you can always do, which is kind of an easy way out, is if you type in magic bullet looks, or if you search for magic bullet looks again, and you just drag the magic bullet looks on the text, and you can add a colour correction to the text only. So I just add, for example, colour rush to 3-way, which just changes the colour. You can have a bit of red for the highlight. The shadow, you can make it darker obviously, so I'm just going to make it around there. You can just mess around with these, add your own colour correction. You can try out the different ones that are already there. Once you're done with that, you just click finished and it will give it its own kind of colour correction. So that's pretty much it. Simple but effective animation, and yeah, if it helped, hopefully it helped you out really. If you have any questions like before in the Cinema 4D part, just comment below. And yeah, my first tutorial. Hopefully it isn't too bad. Obviously it could be hard to understand, and obviously because I don't talk very well. But anyway, thanks for watching. If it helped, leave a like, thumbs up, comment below if you've got any questions. If you want more tutorials, thumbs up again. And yeah, thanks for watching guys. See you later.